Right then, we're going to play with this butterfly garland. So this is the DSP that you get on Celebration at the moment. So I'm going to make, it's kind of a one-sheet wonder, but I'm doing it in two parts. So the first part is a gift bag to house a small bottle of wine. Now, I've just picked these up from Tesco. There's a Malbec and there's a Pinot Grigio. I think they were £1.75. So it's just a little token gift for somebody. So I'm going to show you how to make the bag, and then we'll come back and I'm going to post tomorrow how to make the card that goes with it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is trim it to 9.5 inches wide. So it's still 12 long, but 9.5 inches wide. And what you're going to do is score at 2 1/4 all the way down, 4 1/2 all the way down, 6 3/4, and finally at 9. Okay, you're then going to rotate, so I go 90 degrees clockwise, so I've got the top of the pattern on my right. From the bottom, this left side, we're going to go again at 2 1/4 inches, score again at 9, at 10 1/2, and then for the last score line I want to flip like so, and 11 1/4. Okay, so that's all your scoring done. So I'm going to get rid of the scoreboard, and I'm going to grab my bone folder, which is the only thing I've not got, but I have now. Okay, right then, so we're going to start with burnishing all those score lines. So fold them up and give them a really thorough crease down with your bone folder. Okay, keep going. So yeah, as I say, this is the Celebration paper, so it's free with any £45 purchase at the moment. That runs until the end of March, and it's rather lovely. This is just one of obviously the sheets that you get in the pack, all double-sided. I'm just going to give that a bit of a nudge. It's not folding ever so well. There we go. Okay, so I've done all the verticals. The one at the bottom, the 9-inch score line is here. The 10 1/2 inch score line is here. And that last one that we flipped over, I'm going to come back onto the front, because this is to fold so that the opposite pattern is showing at the top there. Okay, so that's that bit. Now then, I'm going to need my scissors. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this bottom right, it's like this 1/2 inch, and just chop it on an angle. So we've got rid of that completely. Okay, and now we're going to cut up here to make the 4. But before I do that, I'm going to bring in the butterfly gala punch. So this punches out the 2 butterflies at the same time. So I've got tab 1, 2, 3 and 4. Into tab 1, I'm going to put this punch and line it up with that bottom butterfly, just like so. You can see that, yeah. And I'm going to punch those and pop those to one side. So that's tab 1, and very carefully manoeuvre it. There we go. And then tab 3, there's another butterfly here. I'm going to do exactly the same. Now you are going to go over the, there's a tiny bit of the score line where it goes over to tab 4. It doesn't matter, okay? Punch those. Alright. And again, set those to one side. We're going to use those later when she can pick it up. Okay, so now we've done that, we go in with the scissors and cut up to that first horizontal score line. Now this, as I say, you're going to cut it and it's going to sort of flake because you've cut away and away, but that's not a problem. Okay, so that is the basics of that. Now what we're going to do is we need to put in some extra score lines, just 2 V's, and I'll show you where to do that. So on the top of your paper, you want section 2 and section 4. So you need a ruler and an embossing stylus. Right then, so I hope we're close enough. Alright, this is the second score line down, and you want to be sort of halfway. So the easiest thing to do is to pop your ruler on. Excuse if you can see my head. So I've got 2 1/4 inches, and I want to make a mark at 1 1/8. And from that point, scoring down in a V, and to the other side, down in a V. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the second section. So line up with my ruler. I know you guys aren't going to be able to see this very clearly, but at least I'm giving you the idea. Again, down into the corner and down into the corner. I did actually make an overlay. Here we go. Can you see that a bit better? If I move the paper, there, that's basically what you're doing. You're making a V there and a V there, okay? So that's what we're aiming for. Right then. All the cutting and everything of that is now done. So what we're going to do is first of all glue down this top edge. So with wet glue, just a little squiggle of that, and give that a good press down. Okay, so that's going to glue that into place. And then we're going to glue this edge. So again, glue down there. Now the easiest way I found to do this is to fold over that first section like so. Then the second section I fold it right over the top and just give it a firm press. And then we can pop that back the other way just to make sure. Yeah, it works beautifully when I do it just by myself, sat quietly. As soon as I turn the video on, things go a little wrong. There we go. Right then. So that's the top of your box, okay? Then your bottom, what you've got are these flaps that don't look particularly clever, but we have a saving grace here in the form of a 2-inch, just a 2-inch square, and it can be any colour and size of paper. And again, my daughter's pinched my trimmer, so I'm afraid I'm using the guillotine. It is retired, I'm very sorry, but just so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm cutting a 2-inch square, and I've just got white card, and I'm just going to glue this like so. So I've got my box, the seam is at the back here. Can you see this? That piece there, just down there. And I'm going into this side tab, and I'm just going to put this card on the inside. If you did it, put this on before you glue it together. It's on the reverse of tab 4, if you count 1 to 4 from left to right. Okay, so that goes in there. Now what you're going to do is fold that in. So you're folding in tab number 4. On top of that, you're putting tab number 3. So again, you do a lot. Oh, crumbs, 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 crumbs. There we go. Then pop tab number 2. Again, plenty of glue so it all sticks together. And then finally, that last tab. So you've got a piece on the bottom that hasn't had any butterflies cut out of it, so it looks nice and neat, and you've hidden the other butterflies with the piece of white card inside and given it a little bit of extra strength in there. Okay, so once that's done, you drop your little bottle of wine in like so, and then at the sides you've got these little notched, you've got these V's, so if you press in now and line up and give that top a bit of a squeeze, you've got perfectly formed little V's in either side. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is make a tag now that coordinates. So there's your little wine bottle in the box. Okay, and we will make the tag. So for the tag we need a bit of a collection of goodies. So first of all, on Whisper White, let's show you what we did. I used the layering circle framelits. The happy birthday here is from a stamp set called Beautiful Bouquet, which is that one there. Just a happy birthday sentiment. So all I did is stamp that with Memento ink, and I cut that out using the number 2 plain circle, like so. When I say number 2, I number mine from smallest to largest. So when I get the packet, I put a little permanent marker. On top of, sorry, to go behind that, I've got the number 2 scallop circle that I've die cut from black. Okay. And then the colour behind that, this is the Highland Heather, the new colour, and this is the number 3 plain circle. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is put this circle collection on top of a tag. So for my tag, I've got 4.5 inches by 2 inches piece of basic black, and this is the tag topper punch. Okay, so there we go, that's done that. Then I've got 2 pieces of Whisper White. These measure 3.25 by 1 7/8. So the first one, basically one goes on the front and one goes on the back, and I've cut that wrong. You know what, I'm cheating. For some reason I've got my measurements wrong, or I've written them down wrong. So I'm just going to pretend that it fits. Okay, so front and back for that, like so. And then, so the excess strip of DSP is right here. Okay, we need a piece that goes on here. Now I've written down 1 3/4 inches. Now it depends if I've cut that wrong or I've written it wrong. All the correct measurements will be on my blog after this, so don't worry too much about it. Sorry, it's 3 1/8 is the length. I need it 1 3/4 wide. So I'll do it the other way, so that the larger butterfly at the top is mostly intact. Okay, like so. Let's see how we get on with this. So this is going to be, so this is 3 1/8. Yes, this fits the white mat. 3 1/8 that way by 1 3/4 that way. And then this extra strip, I'm going to flip over. So before I stick that down, I'm going to put a piece of this on. So I'm just going to glue, pop that across the middle, well, sort of 2/3 of the way down. Glue that down. I'm going to just snip that with the scissors so it's level. Okay, and now this goes onto here. So we've got this piece of DSP onto the tag, like so. Oh, do you know? Oh, I love it when a plan comes together, but I do hate it when it doesn't. I've got the real wonks today. Try that again. And no, it's real. There we go. Okay. I can see it's still not quite perfect, but it's fine. Okay, so that's the tag. That's obviously where you write your to and from bit. So that's your tag layered up. Your sentiment, those butterflies that we punched out earlier, one is going to be for the coordinating card, greeting card that we're going to make. That'll be in the Fun Fold Friday video tomorrow as the second half of the One Sheet Wonder. One of these is going on this gift bag, so I'm going to use this orangey coloured one, and I'm just going to hover it over the bottom of my happy birthday without gluing it down, because I just want to stamp the antenna. So the antenna come from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. So again, here I've got the Memento Tuxedo Black. I've got my antenna ready on a little block, and I'm just going to stamp the antenna in there. Okay, so that's ready for that. Then we need to layer this up. So I'm going to put the sentiment directly onto this basic black, like so. Then I've got a piece of tear and tape, and I'm just going to put, tear and tape's just an adhesive again, put a piece in the centre of my Highland Heather circle, and on top of this I'm going to put a piece of this lovely organdy ribbon. So I've got about 20, what do I think I've got 25, 26 centimetres of this. I'm just going to fold it into thirds, but with the tails slightly protruding, and pop that on top of that piece of tear and tape, so that's just to hold that. Then either side of this I've got some of these mini dimensionals. I love these, I think they are so great. So 2 of those, and then flip the backs off, and then pop my little happy birthday down there. So that's that layered up. I hope you saw that. I've just realised I'm working quite low on my mat. If this video is lousy, I will do it again. Right then, so the butterfly, again, bone folder. I have had it, I know I have. It's lurking, here we go. With my bone folder, I'm just going to give the butterfly a little bit of movement. So I'm curling it either end to get the wings, and then just in that centre, so that I can just glue the top of the back of the head, and that will just glue and stick onto just underneath the antenna, but it gives it a bit more 3D-isms. And then finally I pop this onto the side of that band, but slightly off. When I hold it up you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, so it's actually overhanging. It's got the 3D butterfly on there. I'm actually going to leave that with that black band at the bottom. I think it doesn't actually look too bad. I think if I'd have thought about it a bit more, I probably would have equalled this measurement here with this measurement here. But I'm quite happy with that. To attach it to the box, the final part is again just an extra piece of this organdy ribbon. So again, this is another celebration item. I love this time of year when it's celebration. You get fab things. So a piece, I've got about 12 centimetres there. I'm just going to pop that through the top of the tag and fold it in half. Okay, and then I'm just going to anchor it with my punch so it stays in place. I've also got here the little gold library clips. Now these are featured in the annual catalogue, and they are very funky and handy little clips, and this is Whisper White twine. I'm going to take a length of Whisper White twine and fold it in half in my hand, and I'm going to make a bow using 2 strands. So I'm going to make the bow, I'm going through the hole in the library clip, so I'm basically attaching my tag to the clip, and then the clip is the bag closure. So once I've gone through that loop, I'm going underneath the doubled up ribbon at the top. I hope you can see this. Again, I know it's a bit tricky. Once I've gone underneath, that's what I'm tying together. Okay, so I'm now going to bow. So remember, I've got 2 thicknesses of twine, and I'm just going to make a bow. Like that, and pull and make it quite a small one, but nice and tight. There we go. And then snip those ends off. So where my ribbon is doubled up, I'm snipping it now. So it's got two ends and two little loops there. And the whole thing is attached to my little library clip. So when I bring my box back in, I just clip it on to the top like so. Okay. So I'm sorry, that felt quite rushed and a bit garbled, but as I say, I haven't done a video in quite a long time, and I need to get back into the swing of things. So I hope that made sense. All the full instructions will be on my blog with all the measurements. I just wanted to try and give you a bit of visual, particularly with the scoring part. Hope you've enjoyed it, and check back tomorrow for the card that will match, the greeting card, that will be using this and those extra butterflies that we punched. Okay, so we've punched out so far 2 little small ones are left there, and this one big one, and we're going to make a really beautiful gatefold greeting card to go with this gift. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.